The MiG-27, known by NATO as the Flogger-D, stands as one of the most iconic ground attack aircraft of the Cold War era. Designed by the Mikoyan-Gurevich Design Bureau in the Soviet Union, this aircraft was built with one primary mission in mind: to strike hard, fast, and low against enemy ground targets. Unlike many of its fighter contemporaries, the MiG-27 was less about dogfighting in the skies and more about devastating the battlefield below. At first glance, the MiG-27 looks similar to the MiG-23 fighter. That's no coincidence. It was directly derived from the MiG-23 airframe, sharing the same swing-wing variable geometry design that allowed it to change wing sweep angles mid-flight. This feature gave it the ability to take off from shorter runways with wings extended, and then sweep them back for high-speed, low-level attack runs. This made the MiG-27 versatile, able to operate from rougher airfields while still reaching supersonic speeds when needed. But while the MiG-23 was designed as an interceptor, the MiG-27 was optimized for the strike role. Its nose profile is noticeably different: a redesigned, flattened front end that improved pilot visibility during ground attack missions. Instead of a radar set meant for air combat, the MiG-27 carried laser rangefinders and target designators to guide its weapons with greater accuracy. The Soviets had created a specialist strike aircraft, tough, fast, and deadly against enemy armor and fortifications. One of the aircraft's most powerful features was its weaponry. The MiG-27 could carry up to 4,000 kilograms of ordnance, including bombs, rockets, and guided missiles. But perhaps its most famous weapon was its built-in 6-barrel GSH 6-30 autocannon. This monstrous 30mm rotary cannon could unleash a devastating rate of fire, capable of tearing through armored vehicles and hardened ground targets. It was so powerful, in fact, that firing it produced extreme recoil, sometimes shaking the aircraft violently. Soviet pilots often joked that firing the gun felt like slamming into a wall of air. The MiG-27 entered service in the early 1970s, just as tensions of the Cold War were pushing both NATO and the Warsaw Pact to strengthen their air power. It became a backbone of Soviet tactical aviation, deployed across Eastern Europe and later exported to allied nations such as India, Sri Lanka, and Kazakhstan. Each operator adapted the aircraft to its own needs, and the MiG-27 saw combat in several regional conflicts. In India, the MiG-27 became especially important. Locally produced under license by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the Indian Air Force operated the aircraft for decades. It played a role in exercises, deterrence patrols, and even combat. During the Kargil War in 1999, Indian MiG-27s were used in precision strike missions against entrenched positions at high altitude. These missions demonstrated both the strengths and the limitations of the aircraft. While it could deliver heavy firepower, operating in mountainous terrain at high altitudes tested the limits of its engines and airframe. One of the defining characteristics of the MiG-27 was its ruggedness. Soviet engineers understood that a frontline strike aircraft might have to operate from makeshift runways under harsh conditions. The MiG-27 was designed with a reinforced undercarriage, simple maintenance systems, and robust construction. It could be refueled, rearmed, and sent back into battle quickly. This made it a reliable workhorse, even in demanding environments. However, as aviation technology advanced, the MiG-27 began to show its age. Its avionics and targeting systems, state-of-the-art in the 1970s, could not keep up with the precision strike capabilities of newer Western aircraft. The rise of multi-role fighters like the F-16 and later the Su-30 meant that specialized strike aircraft were increasingly seen as less flexible. Many air forces gradually retired their MiG-27 fleets, replacing them with aircraft capable of handling both air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. Despite this, the MiG-27 left a strong legacy. For decades, it gave the Soviet Union and its allies a dedicated strike platform that could deliver devastating firepower against ground targets. It represented a philosophy of design that emphasized speed, survivability, and heavy armament over finesse. While not as famous as aircraft like the MiG-29 or Su-27, the MiG-27 played a vital role in Cold War air strategy. Today, the MiG-27 has largely disappeared from active service. India retired its last squadron of MiG-27s in 2019, marking the end of an era. Kazakhstan also phased out the aircraft, leaving only memories, museum pieces, and a reputation among aviation enthusiasts. For many pilots and ground crews who worked with the MiG-27, it was a machine that demanded respect, brutal in its power, simple in its design, and unforgiving if mishandled. In the history of global defense power, the MiG-27 stands as a symbol of Cold War innovation and Soviet engineering. It was never meant to win dogfights in the skies. Instead, it was built to dominate the battlefield below, striking fear into armored columns and fortified positions. Though its time has passed, the MiG-27 remains a reminder of a unique era in military aviation, when specialized aircraft carved out their own deadly roles in the balance of global power.